Uranium friends, let's take a look at some of these reactor builders, right? So this is NUKZ, the ETF for the. It's got more of the builders and reactors in it, so it's a good one to keep an eye on with the package, with the nuclear fuel cycle package, not the uranium miners, more of the reactor builders and fuel enrichers and whatnot. So um, yeah, a very, very good situation here, right? So nice double bottom, good little drawdown, nice double bottom. Already broke the resistance, the neckline, quote unquote, resistance, bounce off the volume shelf um, with volume. So it's a good look. So you want to look at the constituents of this fund. You know, it's going to be Oklo, it's going to be SMR. Just open it up and you'll see. Just go to their website. You'll be able to see. So it's the bellwether for that particular subsector of the space. So and if you're not, you know, you can be a uranium miner's purist, if you will, and that's fine, right? So the problem is the majority of those names don't even trade on these bigger board exchanges. So that in of itself is a little bit of a problem as far as positioning and managing the portfolio. So regardless of that small rant, we have a chart change really for Nukz, and I would assume, let me just double check to make sure. All right, so the weekly is just okay, we're set, right? So 40.52, you want the exact number, I'll give it to you. 40.40. And 40.48. So you essentially have a weekly double bottom here, and it's set because it took out these highs. Also took out that 50-day moving average, which is nice. So as far as Nukes is concerned, it looks good, which means the names within probably should be, well, you know, even if you just want to invest in the miners, this is probably a good space to maybe make some trades and offset your miner's investment cost. However, an individual wants to manage their portfolio, it's on you. But you know, if you're thinking long term in the nuclear renaissance, which I am, uh, you can't discount this subsector. It's probably going to perform very well. So I would keep an eye on it in the very least, and you know, figure out where and when you want to try to position, depending on the fundamental news. You know, a lot of these guys supposedly they don't even have um, necessary approvals to build yet, but whatever. I'll get into that when we go into the individual names. So that's Nukes. Great move. It's a double bottom. As long as $40 holds, in my opinion, it's pretty good. But if it doesn't, you're going to start looking down here into like the 37 area, right? Where there's a little bit of a volume. There's not a lot of price data. It's a very new ETF. So you have to deal with what you have to deal with here. So there is some action in here that could act as support if this gets lost. So that's that. Some other players in the space, right? So BWXT, very typical for this name. If you really, I just want you to take a look at this monthly first, right? So BWXT, it has these monthly moves, right? So, and for those who you know they want to in any way position into this name, well, I mean, look at the long term chart. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this long term chart, and what the behavior of this stock tells me is that it provides entry opportunities for longer term focused plays. If it stops doing that for some reason, then we have to rethink everything. But you know, the naval contracts, if you have government contracts, you know it's a little bit of a tailwind, right? A little bit of a dividend along the way, getting paid to wait. Not a necessarily bad thing, but from a technical standpoint, right here, right now, with this dump, well, this is a full blown bear flag on a daily. Let me just see what this weekly. Yeah, it's a weekly bull flag that is It hasn't confirmed. It's holding, right? So you could start to say, yeah, this is a level that's important for us right now for this name. It's just building a great little base, but you know what Bwxt will do, we'll do that and then it'll go, right? It'll do that and it'll do that and it'll go. So it's, you know, these are possibly buying opportunities. But you know, from a technical standpoint, it's just building a base off of this dumperama, right? So um, even the weekly hasn't even taken out last week's high yet. So there's some not much the way in not much in the way in positivity to say. So you know, we really want to get over 115. So BWXT is still looking a bit bearish, but bulls um, have a pretty low risk level to work off of now. But so do bears. So this is a big battle right here, right? So look at all of these resistance. You know, the past couple of days, 115 is really 114.30, 114.50. That's been resistance, and that's your 12 EMA. So if you get through this level, it's reasonable to say that this could be a decent little base to hold for a little while. Don't know. It could just get through, fake you out, and drop again into some next support. We don't know that. We just only work off of probabilities and low risk setup. So this is right now. It's a low risk setup for the bears and the bulls. Um, a little bit more of a low risk setup for the Bears right now than anything else. So um, that would be what I'm paying attention to on BWXT. What is next for this? So Centrus, another falling wedge, bull break on the daily. Centrus did not get down into my area here, but it did build a nice little base of support, right? So bulls can potentially be working off of this 65 range. Did the weekly? Yeah, the weekly took out the highs. So you have a really good base here in 65. What is this? 64.50. Yeah, 65, 64.50 to 65 is a pretty good base of support here. And it took out the last 2 weeks highs, the last 3 weeks really. So, you know, there's a bounce underway here. Was it oversold? No, it wasn't. So it was just really a falling wedge break and a back test nonetheless. So it's a really nice look on Centrus. So it pays to pay attention. We have to see what the holdings are in Nukz um, to really to see if there's any influence there. But I've just noticed when the reactor builders go, so do the fuel fabrication names. It's really that simple. So even though LEU might not be in Nukes, um, it's still going to run with them. That's what I've been seeing so far in the past, I don't know, year. Lightbridge, same deal, right? So it's doing what the other builders are doing, right? So this was not really a falling wedge. You can just see, I guess I'll just show you the difference, right? So this is like, got that. More, it's going to be more of a channel. So if I sit here and I'm saying, oh, let me just try to draw a falling wedge, you can't really, right? So it's more of a channel, but conceptually, still, it came back. It broke out of its. This resistance line is more important than anything else. It broke out of that and back tested it a bit and went on its way. So another nice little move here, right? With a new daily higher low being set, but a base of support being built. So a lot of these names are presenting low risk, long opportunities for those that are working off these bases, the bulls, right? And the bears got a little beat up here once this took out, so you got your little short squeeze. Again, the bears are going to be up in this area looking to try to hold it down and make some money off their shorts. Or you have some bag holders that are going to be getting out or whatever it is, right? But you'll get a little bit of a volume pocket here, and it could get up to $8 range again, where it could start running into some trouble. So there's chop up in here for now, for sure. But Lightbridge just running with the rest of the builder space. Again, another good base, another weekly triple bottom. happiness, go luckiness, right? So NNE, another one with very little price history, but moving like everything else in this particular subsector, built up a nice base on its way. And I did tweet multiple times. I said, well, Oklo, they're going to run together, right? So NNE is lagging Oklo, and I think so is SMR. We'll have to look at it when we get to it. But again, you have a nice little base of support here. And if you listen to my videos, I talk about these moving average rides. So this is a 50-day moving average and a weekly 12 EMA. That is the sweet spot on the moving average ride for me. Many, 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 many names in the commodity sector do it. Uranium loves to do it. 50-day moving average, weekly 12 EMA ride. That's what it's doing. It's been doing it since September. Once it breaks that ride, well, you have to rethink about, being long and thinking that it's going to trend. So, but for now, it's still doing that ride, and I like it. So again, just that's the deal. So this higher low is set now. I can almost say, hey, let me put an alert there, right? So just say it's 2320. I don't have my magnet on. I hate doing my charts on the fly like this. All right, so 2336 on NNE is your first big warning sign that there's a possibility of a test coming into this little base that has been building. So want that to hold for the win. So the weekly has yet to set. It has to take out 2989. What is that exactly? 2994. So that's, the range is just starting to tighten up a little bit, shall we say, but we have definitive levels to deal with up until they tell us that something's changed. So Oklo, and if you followed me through my Twitter experience, I mean, I was chopping around in here. I definitely got some position, and this got me, right? So my physical shares got stopped out. My calls are still in play. I'm fine with it. It was all good trades here. Absolutely good. So if Oklo keeps going, I'm fairly confident that my plays on NNE and SMR are going to keep going. So, you have your newsletter writer out there that's going, oh, these are trading like a meme stock. Well, guess what? All that says to me is A, you missed it completely, and B, you don't know how to handle it. You don't know what to do with it. So, um, you want to call them meme stocks? Go ahead. Sam Altman is behind this name. So I saw some other fundamental guys. Oh, they're never going to get their approvals from the NRC and all this stuff and blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. So the NRC is the only branch of the United States government that isn't corrupt and can't be bought off or whatever, right? So just remember, it's Sam Altman. So if people are just, you research the heck out of CEOs and mining companies, well, Sam Altman's pretty much anything that guy touches is pretty good. Or I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet on Sam Altman, um, regardless of the NRC approvals. Um, maybe the market agrees, maybe it doesn't, but it's certainly one of the leaders in the space, and it's testing its all-time highs. So technically, forget about the fundamentals and that silly little rant I just went on. Technically, blue sky breakouts are fantastic. There's no resistance. You could say with Fibonacci's that we possibly have some resistance. You know, Fibonacci traders are going to be targeting up here in the 40 range for that play because it got this little bounce off the 23% retracement. That indicates that that's the target. Fibonacci trading. So don't be so quick to think that this is not the play. It is about to take out its all-time highs. It's very close to doing it. Pays to pay attention. All right, 27.44. It's closed at 28.12, so it's less than $1 away. Huh. Say it's trading like a meme stock. You just say whatever you want to say to make yourself feel like you're relevant. But in my opinion, there could be a blue sky breakout coming on this thing, and if there is, a great place. And who knows where it goes. Just like I said, if Fibonacci's, if they work the way they're supposed to, quote unquote, um, there's targeting up here. So there will be front runs on this target, of course. So you have to see how the space is going if it takes out these all-time highs, which by the looks of that candle, it might do it. I could have probably said the same exact thing if everything looked exactly like this, right? So if this didn't exist, I could say, oh, there's a shot that we're going to take a run at the all-time highs here, right? That got rejected, but it's coming back. So, and it took out these levels that rejected it the first time. So Oklo looks good for the blue sky breakout. We need market participation, cooperation, and whatnot. Nice ramp up in volume too. So pays to pay attention. That's all I'm saying. SMR. All right, whatever. It's not the greatest wedge, but it did come out of it. It made a new low with no follow through, and it set these lows, this little base here, right? So SMR, same deal, right? Some good action there, even better than NNE. Just from, well, about the same. All right. So these laggard plays off of Oklo, which I absolutely did point out on Twitter. I said to start looking at the laggards because if Oklo goes, SMR and NNE like to go with it. Believe it or not, ASPI does too. I'll probably have to look at that too. Anything else on that front with this stuff? Yeah, let's look at ASPI. Because ASPI had a nice little break too, and I was talking about it on Twitter again on Thursday and Friday. I said this level 521's got a break. If it does, then we can be taking a look up here at 580, 596, right? So if it takes out 6, well, there's a nice little volume pocket here that it can get through. Now this is a victim of the short report, and yeah, whatever. Fuzzy Panda smashed it. They did it right at the right time. They made a great short. I said it then, and I'll still say it. Well played here. But hey, look, we got our gap fill. So, yeah. So it took out that resistance, essentially forming a little bit of a base. It is a bit of a double bottom here, and hopefully, or we don't get a big fight and a big rejection up here at this level. 590 level is gonna turn out being somewhat important, right? The 596 level. Let's see what we got here. What's the exact number? 601. Yeah, so $6. It's where the 50-day moving average is. It's where these two tops are. $6 breaks, and then it's a nice little. You can get to 7 with the volume profile, possibly, but who knows? Don't know how anything is going to react market wise. So Trump is coming into office too in what 2 weeks. So who knows? Markets. It could be a big sell the news event across the board. I have no idea. So that's the deal with these reactor builders. Big board names, option chains, good trading. Over and out.